Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Nice.
Thanks for doing this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got my screen share up so you can see like more accurately what I'm seeing on my screen rather than the short delay. Um,
Okay.
I don't know. Do you want to just do a pregame interview or do you want to stick around for the game or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I can stick around for the game. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll get some good info from you as the game goes on. So I'll probably break down Baltimore first, and then
Okay.
we'll do yours, and then get into the game.
Sounds good.
We'll give about 5 minutes or so until the actual start. I do need to go ahead and sim through a couple days though. So let me do that.
When you do this,
hmm
you're doing which game are you doing?
So we're gonna do the first game of this series. I talked to Forrest, and he wanted to do Friday the 5th because he's gonna have a debut player.
Okay. Let me see who I got going.
Yeah, let me see.
So I got
I should have covered that with you, but I
so I got
think I forgot.
so that's the fourth game. Okay, so that's Cobb, Schmidt, Clark Schmidt. Oh gosh. All right. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, let's see. What did he say?
At least it's not Will Warren. Will Warren get gets blown up.
Yeah, he said he wanted to schedule Luzardo to debut that day. Um, yeah, so he sent me some information on that I'll go over.
All right.
So let me go ahead and sim forward to the 5th, so July 5th. Yeah, I don't know if you ever watch Out of the Park Developments on Twitch, but
I don't.
I don't watch them a lot, but they do stuff like this sometimes. But it's all for the perfect team. They do a lot of perfect
Yeah.
team stuff, which
Yeah.
I don't really care about. But
I
that,
don't either.
yeah. But I knew it was possible to be done because they do it.
So
So
where do you live?
I'm in Missouri.
Missouri. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. I gotta fix the
So
Marlins.
are you a Royals or Cardinals fan?
Yeah, I've been a Cardinals fan for since like 2006. Um,
Okay.
and then I'm really just like an overall baseball fan now. I'd say. I
Yeah.
mean, I like. I'd say the Cardinals are still my favorite team just because I can follow them the closest for where I'm
Right.
at. But I like a lot of teams these days because, as everyone in this group knows, um, as you follow one team, your favorite players get traded, whatever. Then you
Right.
eventually, start following other players, different teams and stuff. So
How old are you?
I'm 37, just turned 37 in February.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Um, Trying to get through. I have to get through all the DFAs and stuff to get to the
Yeah,
5th.
you're good.
Yeah, it's been awesome to, you know, just get to know just a little bit about the guys in the league. We're coming up on a year, so
Yeah.
just getting voices behind some teams and things like that is interesting. And
Yeah. It is.
it's gotten better in the league. Everyone knows that there was some toxicity and stuff like that swirling around
Yep.
for a while, and I think this helps that out too. It just makes people realize there's a human on the other end, which it's never been anything crazy or whatever, but it's just fun. It's been working out, and everyone seems to enjoy it. So
Yeah. It's good. I'm glad that you do it.
yeah, yeah, I know I enjoy it, so I'm glad everyone else does.
And I am riding an 0-3 against the Mets.
Oh
That's
boy.
outstanding.
Oh, we've got Kamish. We've got Phoenix Rising saying hey. Glad to have Kamish back in the chat. We didn't have him last game of the week. He had some
Oh.
bachelor party duties to attend to.
Oh. Okay. I feel honored.
Those of you that are here with us, we have Yankees joining us for tonight's game. He's going to give us some insight on his team. Do some, if you want to do some color commentary along with me, it'd be great. Whatever you feel like. If you just want to sit back and comment every once in a while, if you want to get into it, I kind of role
Yeah,
play it a little bit, you know.
I understand. I'm gonna have attention divided between my in real life Tigers and the
Oh.
game. So
Yeah, my Cardinals, they just tied the game up in the eighth, but I don't have that on right now, so I can focus. So that's how
there you go.
dedicated I am.
There you go.
Um,
Well, I appreciate you doing it.
I'm enjoying it. Uh, Kamish, I don't know if you have the Twitch chat up. Totally fine if not. But Kamish says, "What's up, Yankees?"
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And yeah, all right. So I think we're pretty good. Let me switch over to the information I got from Forrest on his team, and we'll go ahead and I'll break down the Orioles, and then we'll break down the Yankees with the general manager of the Yankees himself. All right.
Yes.
I'm glad to have you on. I honestly, like, full disclosure, I didn't think you would really have much interest in any of this, so I'm glad
Why
to.
is that?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're just a guy who likes to pop in chat, and I don't know.
Well,
I just felt like you might want to pass, but I'm really grateful that you wanted to come.
yeah, no, I think something like this that sets the league apart from other leagues is definitely worth the weight in gold. And again, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to attend or be on is because I think it's a cool feature that the commission, you and Forrest are allowing the league to do, and kind of hear from, as you were saying, different people and throughout the year, kind of like a game of the week. I
Mm-hmm.
think some of us who used to watch ESPN Sunday night would have they'd have special guests on that were part of the team or whatnot during the telecast.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's cool.
Yeah, and that was kind of the idea. They in game sometimes they'll do like a one inning interview or whatever, or pregame interviews. So I've been given all the GMs the option to do either pregame. You can do if you want to do like a one inning in game interview, or you can hang out the whole game and just talk and whatever.
Yeah,
So
I got time. So
cool,
it's been a long week, and wife is out of town doing some family stuff. So
nice,
kids are in bed, and I'm ready to go.
awesome. All
And I
right.
learned a long time ago also that being in the chat can lead to bad things. So
Sometimes it can. Sometimes you can get dragged into some things that you didn't even intend to. Sometimes.
yeah, and I rubbed people the wrong way with that Perez trade when it first started. So
Oh. Well, that's all bagel history now. So.
there you go.
All right. So.
As is Perez career.
Oh yeah, there you go. Cool. So we're gonna break down the Baltimore Orioles. Welcome to this session of Game of the Week, the Orioles versus Yankees matchup. This is a really nice one in division matchup to take a look at. Um, Forrest sent over some information. I asked the same questions to all the guys, and they give their responses. So um, I'll start with the season goals for Baltimore. Um, so he said, the general manager said, the season goal is the series. Oddly, this feels like one of my best teams so far in BAGL, even with rather weak starting pitching comparatively. We'd like to go back this year and take another shot at the title. Boston is doing its damnedest to prevent that, though. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Boston's having a great year. I'll pull up the standings. Look at that just for a second. So we have Baltimore in first at a 60-29 record. We have the Red Sox in second, 2 games back, and then Tampa Bay 10.5 games back, and then there's New York, who's looks like they've lost the last 3, which is never.
Unfortunate.
Yep, very unfortunate. We'll see how that plays into tonight's game as they look to put a stop to that losing streak. But 47-40, and then Toronto there at the bottom. So this is we looked at Tampa Bay against uh, Oakland the other or in the last game. So back to back AL East uh, games here.
Well, and I think one of the things that with this file, definitely the American League East has year in and year out, or season in season out, been one of the best divisions in baseball. So
Definitely.
you usually have four of the five teams right there, and this year's no different.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like usually 4 out of the 5 teams in a playoff spot somehow in that division every year. The next question is any rookies that are currently on the roster and how they're performing. So let me pull up his lineup here. Um,
It's pretty stout.
yep, they're always a good competitive team. He says Josh Bowman, long believed. Let me pull him up. Josh Bowman. Long believed to be a middle infield prospect. He ended up at first base due to his height, and so far it has paid off. I mean, yeah, that's elite at many defensive positions and having a good season at the plate. 267 average,
Yep.
350 on base. It's looking pretty nice. 16 homers.
Looks like he could be a pretty good third baseman too, like Chris Bryant used to be.
Oh yeah, yep. Third, second, first. He can play shortstop.
He's
Uh,
got the arm.
yeah, he's got the range for a lot of good infield positions there. 845 OPS from Josh Bowman. So he's only 22. So he's going to be. It looks like he was acquired in a trade from Cleveland. I think we have the Cleveland GM in the chat. Hey, Twins is here. Nice. What's up, Twins? Um, Cleveland GM, if you're still in the chat, what's your feeling on Josh Bowman? Looks like a trade back in 2027. See
Yeah,
if he'll
that's pretty.
comment on that. But if we look at the history, we can just do that.
Who
So,
did they get? Oh, they got a bunch of people.
well, it looks like he was traded by Cleveland to Baltimore in exchange for
Oh, I was
Frank
looking at the Cubs Guardians one.
Frank Trujillo. Wow. Okay, that's put a question mark on
Oh,
that one.
yeah, that looks like a Yuri Perez type trade for Baltimore.
Yeah, but Baltimore definitely had that one go in their favor. Kamish says LOL. So here we go. Um, so Josh Bowman, yep, 75 potential, currently 65. Not a whole lot of stealing ability, base running. So he does have some speed, but for whatever reason doesn't have the
Doesn't
base running
translate.
ability. Yeah. 1.5 WAR on the season for Bowman, so he's having a really nice season, no doubt. And then Juan Pena and Osiris Calvo, solid bullpen options who are doing decent to start their careers. So let's see, Juan, where are you at, Juan? There you are. Looks like he got banged around in his last game. He bumped up over like a point and a half in ERA. He was at a 3.91 ERA, and then allowed 4 runs without us getting a single out in the last game for Baltimore, and so now he's at a 5.33 ERA, so that's a blown save on his last appearance.
Yep.
But other than that, before that, if you take that one away, he's had a really nice season. 9.9 K per nine. He's allowing quite a few walks, 6.0 walks per nine.
But
Um,
his whip isn't that bad. I mean, it's a little high,
mm-hmm.
but it's not. You would think giving up as many walks as he is, his whip would be higher.
Yeah, for sure. He's done a decent job of he was on a downward trend there with not allowing many runs, but just that last one kind of blew that one up. But he does have the control issues with just 35 control, so you're gonna see probably some higher walk totals for that
Yeah,
reason.
but usually with someone like that that's got 35 control, you're going to have a whip of 1.48,
Hmm.
1.55, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So he's holding it down. He's holding it down so far. Let's see, Osiris. Where's he at? Down here, middle relief, lefty. Um, looks similar to the guy we just looked at, honestly, ratings wise.
Yep, a
Uh,
little bit better control.
yep, a little bit.
Same whip. Huh.
Yeah, wow. About a full point lower ERA, but he's been his last handful of appearances fairly consistent. He's allowing a run or so. Looks like in the last 5 games, every appearance. Um, so he's still a young, fairly young guy, 26, 4.38 ERA. See if anything stands out. 5.5 walks per nine, 8.8 Ks per nine. That's pretty similar to Pena.
Yep.
So yeah, those are the guys in the bullpen that he wanted to point out. We do have Jesus Luzardo, who's making his season debut. He's 32. He's been injured, and he's coming off two rehab assignments or
Well,
appearances.
he is
Um,
fragile, so
oh, he is. I don't know if that's a new development after this recent injury, but that's always a little bit scary. But he did send a little information on him that we'll talk about momentarily. He wants to. We're going to go into player spotlight. So I asked the GMs to point out 2 to 3 players in their lineup that they're excited about having good seasons. The first one we have from the Orioles is Tim Johnson, former 15th round pick, who is becoming the third head of the Orioles Hydra alongside Henderson and Holiday. So Tim Johnson, left field, 80 potential, 75 overall currently. Looks like he can play just about anywhere on the field.
yep.
He's almost maxed out eye, so he's at a 389 on base.
Missing that elusive first base, ironically enough.
Oh wow, I'm sure if he trained him there, he'd have no problem picking that one up.
I'm sure. I am sure.
Probably an 80 first baseman. But 272 average, 389 on base, 477 slug. So he's at 866 OPS. So he's having a monster season so far. Only 9 homers, so not a ton of home runs up to this point. 19 doubles. So he's just putting the ball in play and good things are happening.
Yep.
Tim Johnston, 24 years old, and he was a draft pick. Yes.
I was gonna say,
So.
I think he's the only one that you've shown so far, or that he's highlighted, that is a homegrown talent.
Yeah, they've been trades and free agents, things like that. Juan, actually, what was the Jesus? Yeah,
He traded
free
with
agent.
Toronto.
Oh, a trade with Toronto. Interesting. Let's look at that. Traded by Tampa Bay to Toronto,
Braden Montgomery
and then let's
was
see.
traded from Toronto to Baltimore. Down below, scroll down, along with Brandon Barriera
Oh,
from Mauricio Casados.
okay. So looks like he traded away some prospects.
Well, he
Which
got this guy too.
gotcha. Let's see.
Who's
Was traded by.
look if you don't mind,
Oh yeah.
Mauricio Casados. See what he
Uh-huh.
looks like.
Yep. Oh, 80
Oh, he's
potential.
there. You go.
He's
But
only
he's
18.
young.
Yep.
He's young.
Only 18 and sky high potential, especially with the power. Wow.
Boy, look at that power. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
He'll be hitting them. He'll be hitting the Vancouver.
Yeah. So we'll see if uh, looking at Kamish's comments here. He said,
Wait,
"What?
I can't. I don't have the chat.
What if you can open my Twitch if you want and just mute it, but whatever. You don't have to do that if you don't want to." But Kamish says, "What a day when all that went down. Why can't I giraffe like this?" At the bottom. Wow. Yep. Yep. So those were probably from a little bit ago, but talking about those guys. But But yeah, looks like some decent prospects that he got back. So I don't know if anyone necessarily won or lost that trade. Seems pretty good. Some
Right.
decent prospects that went back to Toronto for honestly an aging starter. So, but we'll see how he performs tonight. Jesus Luzardo. Let me get back to the lineup. I was just curious about how he came into the organization.
All good.
So we pointed out Tim Johnston. We have Juan Barrera is the next player to point out. Where is Barrera?
He's the one that came over with
Oh, okay.
Luzardo.
So he said flamethrower who is destroying righties and having trouble with lefties, but putting up ridiculous K numbers. So he's back in the. There we go. Okay, so he came over in that trade as well. So that's super cool to see. That's a 70 potential, 70 overall guy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, low whip, super low, 17.3 K per nine and 49.1 innings. That's elite. Another low control guy. So you might not know sometimes what you're going to get from some of these guys coming out of the bullpen, but this guy Barrera has allowed a handful of runs these past few games. So we'll see if he makes an appearance tonight and if he can keep that from happening again. But he's at a 4.01 ERA right now.
Yeah, so I take that back. He actually came over in a trade with Detroit. So, the Orioles have done obviously a good job of keeping some of that nucleus that came over when the game file was created, but made some trades to help along the progression of the team. Clearly,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they're young too. So,
yeah. This guy's 25, so he'll be around for a while. I'm not sure if Kamish has any thought on Juan Barrera. He traded him over. That's the wrong one. Let's see. So he was traded by Detroit to Baltimore along with closer Jim Henninger in exchange for
Henninger.
for Duran, who Detroit just traded as well to Oakland not too long ago, last season or something. So a lot of these guys have just kind of found their way into and out of Detroit.
Yep. Well, Commission's always very active on the waiver or the trade
Yeah,
wire.
yeah, he definitely is in the off season and the deadline for sure. Kamish says that he didn't like his control. That was one of the reasons he was okay with letting him go. He does have the 5 pitches, 3 of them that are super elite. So that's pretty rare to see come out of the bullpen.
Yeah, that's stuff too. Oof.
All right, let's see what else we have. Adley Rutschman as well. He wanted to point out. Everyone knows this guy, the catcher. You know the first name, he says, but he's been all you could ask for in catcher and healthy to boot. Hell of a player. So it's good to
Do
have. Go
you
ahead.
mind looking at his fielding stats?
Yeah, let's do it. He has played a little bit of first base this year and primarily catcher. He's at
Yeah.
10 runners thrown out. He has really good range behind the plate. He's at 18.5 runners thrown out percentage. Good framing, 3.2.
Okay.
Started 5 double plays, so he's
Yeah, he's got a good ZR plus at a 55 rating too.
yeah 1.2 ZR there behind the dish. He's a 50 overall
Or
guy,
50, 55, yeah.
and let's see. So yeah, he's putting up decent numbers for catcher, I guess. When you're hitting, you're not going to expect a ton from them all the time, but batting 253, 10 homers,
Do we,
everyday guy behind the plate.
do me another favor and look at the scouting page for me.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay. So he is declining in his age. He's
Yeah.
like Carlton Fisk. When he got older, he was just a DH because he couldn't bend the knees anymore.
Yeah. It marvels me how catchers can have a full career like that behind the plate.
Yep,
Let's see. He's 32 now, so yeah, he's getting up there.
he is.
All right, and then he had Orioles GM had this to say about Jesus Luzardo. He's making his Orioles debut after a 14-month injury and 2 rehab starts at AAA. He was acquired in the offseason and extended in the hopes of relieving the pressure of Grayson Rodriguez at the top of the rotation. So let's take one more quick look at him. So Grayson Rodriguez looks like he's been slightly struggling this year with a 5.64 ERA. Hasn't really affected the record too much. He's
No.
a 7-4 record himself, Grayson. But Jesus Luzardo is the starter for the Orioles tonight, and we've already kind of dove into him, so I won't spend too much time. He does have a 3.24 ERA in his 2 rehab starts, um, and he was with Toronto last year, so we already looked at that. So, and then we have the pick to click. That's the final question for the Orioles. And they have gone with Braylon Morrell for their pick to click in tonight's game. So he's an outfielder DH. He's a lefty masher who hasn't quite found his footing in the bigs. He had a solid month of June, and I expect him to eventually become an above average, if somewhat boring regular. So he expects him to eventually become an above average, if somewhat boring regular. Okay, so who
Yep.
cares? Who cares? I mean, an everyday guy is super valuable to have that you can just slot him in. He's only 24.
Absolutely.
Put him
Trade
in
with
there.
Texas.
Yep. So making moves. Orioles making moves, and that's how they've rounded out their major league roster this time around. But they are, like we saw earlier, they're in first in the division, AL East, and they're one of the best records in baseball. It looks like second best record in baseball, 60-29, behind the Mets, 63-24.
Well, you're gonna do that when you have ranked first in runs scored, fourth in batting average, first in on base percentage, first in OPS, first in batting WAR, first in WOBA, sixth in home runs, first in stolen bases, sixth in starting ERA, and third in the bullpen ERA.
Man, this looks a lot like the Diamondbacks. Jeez. Anyways, back to the Orioles. We're gonna. I'm just playing. All right. So we're gonna switch over to the Yankees. I feel like we dove into the Orioles enough and got covered all the guys he wanted to cover. Let's say look back in the chat here. All right, and then over to the New York Yankees, Bronx Bombers. Where do you want to start with
Yeah.
your squad?
Well, I mean, honestly, we could start in a lot of different places, and one of the things that when you look at different teams, we just talked about the Orioles. They're clearly they like to trade. I take a little bit different approach, which takes a little bit longer. But as you can see, and I think I mentioned it in the chat earlier, tried to build up the farm so that I have a continuous supply of talent, and I've gotten to the third ranked minor league system in OSHA um, right now. So I am playing some roster uh, gymnastics with a couple of people, but pitching, I'm getting by. It was better early in the year. I think William Schmidt, and it's kind of funny also with being in different leagues, different files. The TCR is different with players. William Schmidt came out of nowhere and is now ranks. His ratings are tremendous.
Wow.
So he's been pleasant to see. A lot of it has to do with probably his attributes, um, and different iterations of OOTP has to you kind of have to maneuver your team based upon what they feel or what they put as emphasis for that season.
Mm-hmm.
Defense this year was in this OOTP iteration is obviously more important, especially up the middle. But going back to William Schmidt, if you look at his scouting, you can see that he just looks like the stock market in 2024, and he just kept rising, and has been a very good starting pitcher for me.
Nice.
Um, Obviously, my ace,
Yeah.
and uh, knock on wood, he has not had too many injuries.
Only 24.
Yep, he is young. He is young. And the other thing about this iteration of OTP, and I think we all kind of had headaches when it first came out, but you can't really look at the overall and potential of
Hmm.
players
Yeah.
because it just doesn't translate like it used to in earlier years. Um, and a perfect example of that on the batting side would be, um, Spencer Torkelson. Like he is, if you look at his ratings, nothing really sticks out to you. I mean, he's kind of um, just a working man's first baseman, basically. And I made a trade. I made a trade with Kamish
Yep.
because I'm a real life Tigers fan, and Spencer Torkelson came from Arizona State, which I went to school there for a couple of years. So um, pulled on my heartstrings a little bit. So I wanted him to come over in New York, and last year wasn't good, but he's turned it around this year, and his average has gone up 40 points. He's already got half of his home runs, half of his RBIs, has as many doubles as he had all of last year. So things are looking up, hopefully, for Spencer.
Nice.
Um, and then I did, I have been kind of active. I, I wanted to take the Yankees in this league because I normally take like the Pirates or the Tigers or the Royals, small market teams. And so when the Yankees were available, I was like, yeah, let's try this. And in saying that, I've been active on the when the international free agents come in. Guerrero, which I think the Cubs and I had, a battle in chat about whether he was going to be any good or, for how long will he be good. Um, so he's a player I like to highlight because, his ERA is a little high, but again, we're playing in a little league stadium here in New York. But, his whip is still positive. I can't see because
There he
I'm on my
goes.
laptop. Okay, there you go. Thank you. Um, his ERA plus is not obviously as high as it was last year, and he's declined. But he still has it. It's just a matter of whether he can get in positions to be utilized properly. Plus, he had good attributes, which was another thing I liked about him. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
19.8 salary this year, so he's getting paid.
oh yeah, I mean, if you look at his salary, his contract was, I believe, an 8-year
Ooh,
contract,
yeah.
10-year. I did a 10-year, 188,200,000. So he's going
Nice.
to be getting paid
That's a
for
BAGL
the
contract
next
if I've ever seen one.
5 years. Um, so I guess if I were to say something, the Cubs may have been right on Guerrero, where it just didn't last as long as I thought.
Hmm.
Um, then that there's two other people I'd like to highlight, and they are on the DL,
Okay.
but they will be coming to a ballpark near you
Oh.
next year. One of those is another international free agent in Bai. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. And he unfortunately had a ruptured disc in his back and is out 4 months. But extreme ground ball, which I think in Yankee Stadium, I try and find pitchers with extreme ground ball potential because fly balls just don't do well in Yankee Stadium.
Hmm.
And I think with him as a setup role, with Guerrero as the closer, I think those two will do quite well.
Nice. Yeah, earlier in the chat, Kamish said ground ball pitchers are important in Yankee Stadium.
There you
So
go.
yeah, he had the same thought, but yeah, it's easy to the short porch and right and all that. You don't want to be given too many fly balls,
Yep.
for sure.
Nope.
Yeah.
You do not. And then the other one is Griffin Canning. I took a flyer on him this past off season, knowing that he was going to be out this entire year.
Oh, in the
Um,
IL.
yeah, on the IL. Yep.
Gotcha.
But he another extreme ground ball, No one was bidding on him. I felt like I got a pretty good price for somebody who will come back as kind of a September call up, basically.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like he's not being paid an exorbitant amount of money. So
Mm-hmm.
I took a flyer. But that's someone I wanted to highlight because I think if I'm still in this, which depending on a few things, um, he could be an important piece in September for me.
Awesome. Yeah, your injured list is
Yeah, I got a lot of money on the injury list.
yeah. Well, Juan Soto sitting there, Anthony Volpe. I mean, that's like more talented than some teams sometimes. Like
Yeah,
lineups, you got like an entire lineup sitting there.
I do. Yeah. So for me to kind of stick in this and still be 7 games up over 500, I'm pretty pleased with that. And
Yep.
plus, if you look at my minors, you can see that there's some talent coming up. If you go to Yankees,
Mm-hmm.
just go
Uh.
up top, up to no, up the very there you go, and
Uh-huh.
then go down to reports and info,
Yep.
and then go to top prospects. I mean, you can see that my center fielder, two center fielders are, I mean, on the precipice of being called up. Chris Carroll is another player that's right there. Alex White is right there. Bonilla is probably next year. Bywaters is ready, and then Jamie Goodnight uh, and Chris Hale are the two, and Danny Hedich down on the pitching side. If you look at those guys, I am playing, and I will tell everybody I am playing roster gymnastics. But they are ready, and they may be called up in September to try and help me try and capture a wild card spot.
Nice. Yeah. Wow. That's your.
But
Oh.
if you look at Ojeda too, Ojeda is, I mean, up top the second. There you go.
Wow. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Commish was talking about drafting, and if you look, again, it's interesting to see how people build their teams. The
Mm-hmm.
Cubs, I'm in many leagues with him. He builds them through trades. He also has a developer on speed dial for
Yeah.
whatever it's worth. Commish, he likes to trade.
Yep.
Forrest likes to trade.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do kind of the drafting piece, and homegrown it, home grow it.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really interesting to hear from everyone on all their teams like this. And yeah, you're sitting in a wild card spot right now, the last wild card
E-
spot. So
Even after a three game losing streak.
yep. So the Red Sox, Rays, and Yankees all from the same division right there in the three wild cards. So
Yeah,
this
and then
this is an important
I,
series.
yeah, it is. It is, and I'd like to take 2 out of 3. But we just looked at the Orioles, and they were first in basically every category. So,
Yep.
the one thing I do want to also mention, and you had talked about the rookies that are in my lineup.
Yeah.
I do have a few. Rosario is a little bit. He's on the DL. Or no, he's there. Okay. He's been a little bit disappointing this year. I thought that he would have a better bat than he does. Um, but I do like his defense, and I think that the defense and putting him out there helps with a lot to do with my pitchers.
Yeah. Yeah. He's played. Let's see. Played a lot of positions in the bigs, all at a good high level.
Well, that's Scranton, and so that's my AAA and New
Yeah.
York because he's kind of gone back and forth. But
Mm.
to have a shortstop at a 2+2 ZR rating and a 975 percentage fielding,
That's
to me
good.
that's pretty good.
Yep. Really good, especially at shortstop.
Franco, he is another one who kind of came out of nowhere. I kind of took a flyer because if you look at his Scranton statistics this year, I mean, he was batting a 143, but I just felt like the peripherals were there that he could translate to being a good hitter in Yankee Stadium. Plus, he's a line drive hitter, and so far it's turned out to be that way.
Nice. Yeah.
Um,
First
so
round pick.
again, it is, yeah, and it's late first round.
Yep.
Um, so He's another person I like to highlight as a rookie, coming into the spotlight and doing well.
Nice. That's awesome to see. Yep, and we know that you have a lot more coming. So, no end in sight for the talented young guys in the organization.
Yeah, yeah, yep. And Cozell at second base has done well. He's my last one. He's kind of the uh, the other guy that I brought up this year. Killing the ball in Scranton, and I felt like he was somebody that I definitely need to bring up because I didn't want him to get too down and out
Mm-hmm.
um, down in the minors. So brought him up, and he's done well. And
Yeah,
again, another
284.
draft pick, third round.
Nice. Yeah, 90th overall. Amazing. Yep. So you've really built this team from the ground up. I mean, you still have guys like Aaron Judge and some, maybe an Alex Bregman that's more of a veteran type player, but everyone
Yep.
else is came up through the system for the most part, made a couple trades, filled a couple spots in. And that's
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
good.
Judge is going to be on his way out. He's got one more year. Unfortunately, that contract was given to me with the
Mm-hmm.
game, but he can't field, so he's basically a DH. Um,
Wow. Oh, he's wrecked.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Um, and Volpe is fragile, so that obviously hurts me because Volpe has a long term contract, and some of the injury settings on some of these leagues definitely will do that to players. And Volpe was normal when we started, and now he's fragile. So
Ah,
it is what it is. But
yep.
we have some people to fill with depth pieces.
Right on. Uh, how do you feel about the pitching matchup? We have Jesus Luzardo, Thomas Zapuki. How are you gonna pronounce
Uh,
that?
yeah. So that's yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Lefty versus lefty matchup, so that'll be a good one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It will be.
It's your starting pitcher,
He is.
Thomas.
He's got some good ratings. Stamina's not that high, but again, he's had a bounce back year like Spencer Torkelson has this year, from a +7 ERA to now, just above a 4.75, which in Yankee Stadium and having that being your home ballpark, and he's a fly ball pitcher,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's pretty good. But he's just holding the spot warm until I can get Canning or maybe bring up one of the AAA pitchers. So
Sweet. Number two
I
guy.
like to see I like to see if Luzardo can make it through the entire start.
Yep. That'll be an interesting one. Two veterans facing off. Who's your pick to click? Who do you think's gonna have the best performance? It can be
Um,
for you or either team.
I think I think let me just quickly. You know what? Let's just go with. I think Torkelson's going to have a good game.
Okay. I can
That
pull
may be
up
my
the.
heart. That may be my heart
Here's the
talking. But
head-to-head matchups here, if that helps you at all.
okay, here's the head to
Sweet.
head.
Yep.
Well, it ain't gonna be Dominguez, probably not. Ain't gonna be Familia. Yeah, Torkelson. I mean, he's
Okay.
batting at 276, 12 home runs.
Yep. He's currently cold, but he's gonna look to turn that around this game. So,
Camden Cozell, lefty on lefty, but
yeah.
he seems to have done pretty well so far.
All right. Let's say we get into it. We got some guys in the league hanging out, watching, ready for the game. So we're gonna see how this one starts out. The first game of the series against the Yankees against the Orioles. Jump into it. All right, there is Luzardo on the mound against Sergio Rosario, the shortstop.
Yeah, and I think this is a pretty cool feature that they've continued to improve on in every iteration since we started, or since I started 6, 7 years ago. And I think when you do something like this that you're doing, it really kind of brings it in and makes it real life to a lot of people, which
Hmm.
is kind of cool with what you're doing.
Yeah, these type of games can seem like really overwhelming to a lot of people, but once you learn about it and get comfortable with it, it's really not that hard of a thing. There's a lot of features that can help you. You know, you don't have to control absolutely everything. You can customize it for however you want. So yeah,
Right.
it can be more of an approachable game just for even like average baseball fan.
Absolutely.
But no, I
And
appreciate that.
I started not the I mean I started when I was in my teens playing APBA,
Yeah.
which was, I don't know if you've heard of it, but it was kind of a lot like this setup was that you see right here,
Hmm.
where you can control the different teams. And my buddy and I would play seasons, uh, where
Hmm.
he would manage one team and I would manage the other team. And um, seeing this now, it's brought back to my childhood, so it's pretty
That's
cool.
awesome. I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it. Let's see how Sergio does for you leading off here against Lizardo, making the debut for the Orioles.
Here we
The
go.
the first pitch, first batter. That's hit softly to right. Is that gonna? Nope, not gonna get down. Right fielder's gonna be there. Morel ready to take that one.
Hmm. Yep.
So 2 pitches, both outside the strike zone, but he went for it. The fastball he was looking for. So Jason Dominguez, he's batting at 444 on the first pitch. So let's see how he does against Luzardo. 198 average, 4 homers so far this season. Luzardo is back in the big leagues after his 14-month break before injury. He
Did you try to bunt that?
he tried to bunt it, but he missed it. So he's going to continue. That's one that was on the first ball or first pitch was changeup.
Not sure
So
what that's all about.
Dominguez will try that again. Hits it sharply to third, past the third baseman.
I wonder if that's an error.
Let's see. It's uh, I don't know. He hit the
Nope.
fastball though. That was also out of the zone. So they're definitely looking for that fastball from Luzardo.
I like it. I like it.
All right, we have Ramirez, the catcher, batting 210. So let's see if they can get some damage done here early on against Luzardo. Welcome him back. And his next batter, he's going to strike him out. So his
Yeah.
first strikeout back in the bigs.
Congrats, Jesus.
And Christopher Familia, the left fielder, batting cleanup for the Yankees. He's at a 193 average, 10 homers. And Luzardo's going to try to get him out for the third out right here. And that's a stolen base attempt. He'll make it in plenty of time. Fourth stolen base for Dominguez. Does he have speed? Yeah, he does. Okay, I
Yeah.
wasn't aware of his speed.
One of the things that I mean, I don't want to give it away, but I do tend to have a speedy team, or I try to build a speed team,
Hmm.
and raise the stolen base activity.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's seems to work well for my strategy sometimes as well. Christopher Familia up next.
Need to try and
Or he
manufacture some of those
still.
runs.
I guess he's still up at the plate. So the first pitch was a called strike down the middle. The next is hit hard to right, and that's going to get down and hit the wall. That should bring around the first run of the game as
There
he
you
gets
go.
into second base.
So that stolen base
Yep,
allowed me to get a run and manufacturing it.
big time. The speed was huge there, and
And that was lefty on lefty.
Dominguez with that questionable bunt, but it didn't matter. So he got on base and came around to score. That was a good last battle too. 7 pitches to get that. We have Lucas Franco. I need to pause the music real quick. Forgot to do that. There we go. And then Familia at second, and Franco trying to drive him in with 2 out in the first.
Yep.
He's hit it into the gap. Is he able to run it down? No, it's going to drop. That should be another run.
Boom.
And he comes into second. So they're just trading places at second base. Luzardo
That's
trying to get that third out.
that was Franco. I mentioned him.
Yep. He's one of the rookies.
He is,
Yep. Nice. Yeah, he's
and he's the one that wasn't doing well in Scranton, but I just felt like the peripherals were there.
another hit off of the fastball, which was on the line of the strike zone, but he hit that one for a double. And we have Torkelson up now, the pick to click from the Yankees manager. He has 4,104 at bats under his major league at belt. So let's see what he can do with his next one. It's softly
Oh,
dribbled up the line. Gonna have to make a play at first, and he does.
way to make me look bad, Spencer.
First at bat, not what he's hoping for, but 2 runs do score with 3 hits. All right. The American League GMs in the chat watching intently to this one. So we have Jackson Holiday leading off, batting 303 for the Orioles. So they're going to look to get these runs back immediately. And Thomas
I think it's
Zapucki?
Zabuki.
Zapuki?
Zapuki.
Okay. We'll call him Puck. Pucky. How about that?
Yeah, let's just call him Puck. I think that's
Puck.
yeah
All right,
smart.
so Puck. Yeah, he's a lefty as well for the Yankees starting pitcher here. So lefty-lefty matchup. Jackson Holiday is the first batter. He strikes him out for the first out of this half inning.
That
So
sidearm got him.
looking good for Puck. 5 pitches to get that first out, and most of those were in the strike zone.
All right, here comes Tim Johnson.
Here we go. This was one of the rookies. No, he was one of the players in the spotlight, I believe.
Yep,
Tim
he was.
Johnston. So 272, 9 homers in the second spot of the lineup here. And Puck is going to pitch to him. He strikes him out for back-to-back strikeouts to start the game. Looking really nice from the lefty. He's been. Here's another lefty, the Gunnar Henderson. He's always an MVP candidate almost every year, batting
Yep.
298, 9 homers, 46 RBIs on the season so far. And that was a good at bat. The last one, 6 pitches. So he's at 11 to get to. So Henderson will do this. He makes contact with the ball, but hits it right to the third baseman. So he doesn't strike out the side, but does get him in order. So
All right. Well,
here we go.
inning 1. That
Underway.
was not how I had anticipated it was going to go.
Yeah. So far, so good for the Yankees and here at Oriole Park. And Luzardo back out there. 17 pitches to get through the first. He's up against Everson Pereira, the right fielder. 22 homers so far this year.
Yeah, this is somebody who his average isn't there. He's got power, and if you look at his defensive uh, ratings, he just I have to put him out there because he can play all 3 positions very well.
Yeah, he's. Oh.
Well, excuse me, two of the 3.
He, for some reason, just struggles in left field. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but okay.
It does not. I don't know why that would be.
All right, Pereira is the next one with nobody out in the top of the second. Leading off. He strikes him out. So he gets a strike out of his zone for the first out. Moving on to Alex Bregman, the first baseman this game, 231 average.
This one, this signing is probably the one I regret the most.
Interesting. Wow, he's been with you for a long time.
Yeah, but as you can see, he's only had 1, maybe 2 good years.
Yep. Yeah, that 2028 year, he was really good.
Yep.
So let's see if Luzardo can get him out here for the second out of this inning. 4 pitches to get that last one. That's a low pitch.
Oh, good eye, Alex. Good eye.
So he's going to get on with 1 out. Camden Cozile, the second baseman, he's having a decent year, 284 average, 343 on base.
Yep, this is my guy.
And so here we go, the lefty, another lefty in this game. He hits it up the middle, but right to the
Ah, it's a
shortstop
double
for a
play.
double play. Easy double play
Damn
there.
you, Jackson,
But
turning it so
here we go.
easily.
Yeah, that was a little showboaty. Let's see. Braylon Morrell, the right fielder. He's up next. 248 for the Orioles. His batting average. 8 homers against Puck. That's hit
Oh
hard, but right to the center fielder. He does have to range for it a little bit, but no harm, no foul. Just loud out number one.
boy, how cool would it be though if you had like that different sound like home runs in real life too?
Yeah, yeah. Just it does do a little bit, but yeah, not like an ultimate sound where it's just a no doubter. 7 pitches that at bat, so that was a good first at bat. Bowman up next. Josh Bowman. He's one of the players we talked about before the game as well.
Yep.
He's a rookie, I believe, 22 years old. He hits that
Mm,
one to center.
that's
She's,
gone.
wow, okay, I didn't think that was gone, but that is for the first home run of the game. That's for Baltimore, so they've cut the lead in half, 2-1 now.
Yeah,
398 feet.
that's who Forrest highlighted, I believe.
Yeah, he did. I don't remember how to do replays, which I need to remember, so I'll try to figure that out next time. But
We
Norby,
don't have to worry about
Connor
that replay.
Norby. Yeah, just skip that one. Skip that one. Connor Norby, 278. So got our first big fly of the game. Let's see what he'll do following in that. He gets a walk, so that may have rattled him a bit. That
I was gonna say
hard hit ball.
Puck might be a bit rattled.
Adley Rutschman, another player spotlight before the game. He's batting 253, 10 homers, so the talent's all up and down this lineup against Puck. Let's see what Rutschman's going to do here.
Need double play here.
Softly hit. It's going to have to run in. The right fielder's there in time. So that was an easy out for Rutschman's first at bat.
That's Pereira, and right.
Pereira, yes, as he's plays a really nice right field. Khalil Watson, this is a guy who's been around for a little bit now in this league. He's seen multiple different teams, but now he's with the Orioles, looking to pave his way here. 205 average, 11 homers so far this year. Only one pitch that last at bat, so let's see what Watson's going to do. It's popped up in the infield. Who wants that one? The second baseman's going to take it.
Cozile.
And that will retire the side. So they do get one with the opposite field homer, but it's still a one-run game. And back to the top of the lineup now for the Yankees. Rosario, the shortstop. He had did not get a hit his last at bat. He was the 15th pick in the first round in 2027.
His on base percentage is quite weak, but he has raised it a little bit recently, so hopefully that will continue.
All right, let's see what we get from Rosario. That one's hit hard, but right to the left fielder. 2 steps to his left.
That's a torpedo bat. Come on, guys.
Man, yeah, that was nice off the bat, but right to Johnston and left. Jason Dominguez, he's had a good first at bat. He got a hit and came around to score. He's going to be the next batter against Luzardo. The last at bat, 7 pitches.
Yeah, and Kamish wrote that Sergio was a former top prospect and has great defense, and that is the case, which is why he still is wearing a Yankee uniform, because that up the middle defense is so vitally important.
Oh yeah, that's a super important piece to it. Any successful team. All right, Dominguez. Let's see if he can get his second hit. He hits it in the air, but it goes to the left fielder Johnston as well. So both outs to Johnston this half inning.
Yeah, I wish I had my full team Because I would like
Oof.
to have seen
Yeah. Juan Soto alone.
Volpe.
Yeah. Yep. We have Agustin Ramirez, the catcher, up next. He did not get on his last, did not get a hit his last at bat.
No.
So he will strike out this time. So that is on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, low in the zone. 3 up and 3 down.
Great, great third hitter. I'm not sure what my manager was doing with this lineup. This is not how I put it in.
Let's see. Dominic Fletcher up next, the center fielder. Batting 270, so this is the ninth place hitter in the lineup.
Yeah, Dominic Fletcher. He's an old Diamondback farmhand. I'm not sure if he was in this file, but he's usually pretty good in most files.
Nice. Take a quick look at him. Plays really good defense. And he's going to be one of those guys where his ratings don't blow you off the board, but he just kind of always seems to perform. He's been with Baltimore since 2026, so he's been around for quite a while in this organization.
Yeah, and for those ratings, he's had some successful years.
Yeah. Well, let's see how he performs this game. His first at bat right here. He pops it to left.
Get in there.
Easy out for the left fielder. Familia. Now back to the top of the order, Jackson Holliday. He was out his last at bat. And puck against the lefty Holliday. He hits it to right to the right fielder. So staying within the lines here, just going to each left and right fielder.
This guy hit a home run, doesn't it?
Nope, not
No.
Johnston. But he was pointed out before the game. He's batting 271 against puck. One of the few righties we'll see in this game. He walks him
For the 45th time
wow.
this season. Quite an eye Johnson has. Johnston.
That's great to have with the, I believe, Orioles is one of the top on-base teams, so you see it happening right there.
Yep.
All right, Gunnar Henderson. He's the third place hitter against Puck, who's at 42 pitches now. Another lefty, so let's see how this will play out. Hits it hard up the middle to the second baseman, but in time, and he makes the play for the third out. Only one pitch.
He did not look like he was on second base for that.
Yeah, that was a weird animation. Kind of confused me for a second. But you just have to make the most of it with out of the park because you just never really know what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. Christopher Familia, left fielder. We're in the top of the fourth now. Still 2-1.
Do you have what? Sorry, while you're doing this, do you have 26 yet?
No, I don't. I need to get
Okay.
it. I'll get it any time. I just haven't picked it up yet. I've been stuck doing this. Or
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
More focused on doing this. No, you're fine. I'll be ready for the season though. After this season. Familia 197, and Luzardo 43 pitches, so he's doing okay so far. In his return.
Yep.
And the game still has him wearing that Blue Jays hat.
Yeah, it does.
So let's see what happens here. He hits it hard again to the second baseman for the throw out at first. 4 pitches.
Khalil.
Lucas Franco up next. Yep,
This is where the rally started last time.
Yeah, he has a hit and he has an RBI. Lucas Franco batting 274. So let's see if he can get some power against Luzardo. He hits it high, but to the shortstop, a mile high, as he was ready for that one.
Jackson's not going to miss that one.
Jackson Holliday and Khalil Watson have the middle of the infield locked up. And here we go, back to Spencer Torkelson. No hits today, but he's looking to change that right here as he's the pick to click for this game.
Good on base percentage, good OPS. Let's go.
He loves left field, left center. hit it up the middle.
I'd love for him to gap it right here to left center.
Let's see what happens right here. Man, another pop up to the infield. So some easy outs there that inning for on the Orioles side. But
Wasn't good.
Yankees still holding the lead, 2-1. Only one hit so far for Baltimore, which is a homer.
Don't jinx it.
And Braylon Morel up next, 247. And Puck rolling right along, 43 pitches now. That's a soft dribbler. The catcher is able to pick that one up, make the throw in time for that first out. Another at bat here. This is Josh Bowman. He had the home run earlier.
Yeah.
So we'll see. He does look like Johnston, though. They look similar.
Intentionally walk this guy.
All right, and we'll see what happens. Maybe they will. We have seen an intentional walk in the game of the week. He hits it hard past the first baseman, so that's going to be his second hit. So Bowman coming through for the Orioles manager as he pointed him out before the game.
But we kept him in the ballpark, so I'll take that as a win.
Absolutely. He's standing on first base. Connor Norby, the DH, 278, and no hits today, but it looks like he did have a walk or something earlier. I'm not sure. Connor Norby, he's going to do this with his at-bat. Strike out. So Puck, as he allows the man on first, he does not allow the next.
Coming through.
Rutschman up next, the catcher. So he has no hits in one at-bat. That was three pitches to carve him up for that strikeout. Rutschman, he strikes him out. So back-to-back strikeouts after allowing the man on first. He's coming through. He's pitching a really nice game.
Nice job, Puck.
Everson Pereira up next for the Yankees. Jesus Luzardo up to 60 pitches, going on the top of the fifth. So let's see how his tank is, as he has not been in the major leagues for 14 months now. So the next pitch.
He's in the medium exhaustion.
Yep.
Damn. Slider.
Only 4 pitches to get that one. So he's still throwing bullets out there. Alex Bregman up next. He will. Oh, get hit.
Oh.
So that was a slider.
Oh, charge the mound, Bregman.
That was on the first pitch of the at bat.
Dang.
So that back foot sliders got him there.
No pun intended.
Yep. All right, Camden Koziel, the second baseman. He's a 283 hitter. He does not have a hit today, so let's see if he can get Bregman around the bases against Luzardo. Commish said, warn the benches. They have been warned, and so have the runners on the bases, as they are both out.
You need to tell Bug Selig to just calm down over there.
Oh, Bud. I miss him now.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people do.
Gosh, okay. Khalil Watson, he's up next, 205. 11 homers on the year. He had a good play up the middle earlier in the game. So let's see what he does against Puck, who has 59 pitches. He hits it hard, but right to the first baseman, Torkelson,
There you
is
go.
there.
No,
No,
that's Bregman.
Bregman's there for the play.
Bregman.
Nice. So he adds a lot of value to the team still, even at his age. Dominic Fletcher up next. He is batting 193 against lefties this season. He hits it to center field. He has to run back for it, and he's there in time. Sometimes you'll see those balls, and with that animation, they'll jump for it and it'll go over. But he's able to make the play, Dominguez, as he has good speed and defensive ability in center. Jackson Holliday, he does not have a hit in 2 at-bats. He is happy with that boyish grin there, though, against Puck at 65 pitches.
We are now starting the third go round with the lineup. So this is usually when pitchers tend to get hit if they're going to get hit.
And it's focus time now for Puck as he is reaching the middle portion of this game. See how much longer he can last. He hits it. Holiday hits it softly to right. It drops in for a hit, his first hit of the day.
Yep. Here we go.
And that was 5 pitches, so he battled for that one. And Holiday's on first. He can steal. We have Johnston up next, who does not have a hit. He's having
Hopefully this is the last out, so we can get out of this inning and get into the bullpen.
indeed 2 outs. He needs to get this one here, so Holiday does not do any damage. Let's see what happens. 71 pitches. He steals, but he throws him out. He throws
Whoa.
Jackson Holiday out at second, so he's
Oh,
only
hey.
thrown 7 batters out so far this year out of 57 attempts, and he throws out Holiday.
Oh my God.
So,
And Holiday's fast too, I believe.
he is. He knows the GM's watching. He wants to impress him, so he made a good throw there.
Oh my God.
That was awesome for the third out. Jesus Luzardo back out there, 69 pitches against Sergio Rosario, the shortstop.
So my backup catcher is actually someone I picked up off of waivers from Forest. In real life, he's one of the top prospects, Samuel Basalo. He must be tired because that's why Ramirez is in. But he's got way better ratings and throwing than Ramirez does.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's a interesting tidbit to get there. Some history with these two teams, trade-wise. Sergio Rosario, 253 now. No hits today. Let's see if he can get one here. He might. No, not quite. Morel's able to get under that one and make the catch.
Damn, he smoked that one too.
That was a hard hit. Sounded nice off the bat. Dominguez having a great game here. He'd be the MVP so far for the Yankees. He has 1 hit on the day. Let's see what he can do here against Luzardo.
And it's still on base, right?
Yeah, stolen base, run scored. So let's see what happens. He tries to bunt again on the first pitch.
Why? I don't understand. I gotta change. I'm gonna have to look at that.
He's trying to. Well, that was his second pitch. But he's trying to drop that down for a base hit, I guess. He draws the third baseman in Henderson. So now Dominguez strikes out. As he gave up that strike, might not be bunting anymore for this team.
I gotta figure that out.
We have Agustin Ramirez up now again, 208.
I got a lot of snowflakes in my lineup here.
Yeah, they've gone cold. I know Torkelson was cold to start, but these guys, the other 2 guys, have gone cold during the game. Luzardo's putting up a good effort, though, in his debut for the Orioles.
Yep, he's done well.
Let's see how this continues for him. He strikes another man out, so a high strike, but he swings at it, and it's 3 up, 3 down there for New York. Getting into the bottom of the 6th.
Oh boy, why do we still have Puck out there?
73 pitches. Tim Johnston is back up at the plate. 271. Let's see how Puck performs. He's pitching a great game as well. That's hit to the left. The left fielder is there in time. Familia. He's made a couple good plays out there, running plays.
Yeah, he has.
That was one.
I believe
pitch.
he's got pretty good ratings out there too.
Let me take a look at him real quick. He's
nope, he does not.
He has good outfield arm, and he's not going to have a lot of errors out there, but might not have the best range.
Yeah, that's surprising. Some of these guys have fallen off this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny when you look at guys you haven't looked at closely in a little bit, and you're like, "What the heck happened?" Jeez.
Yeah, because Familia was one that he was strong defensively, which is one of the reasons why I extended his contract. I'm gonna have to revisit that at the end of the year.
Interesting. Okay, so these game of the week, you can kind of learn a little bit about your team too.
Yep.
All right, Gunnar Henderson, 296. No hits today. He's got a 403 on base. Let's see if he can make it on here. One out in this inning. Only one pitch to get that first out, and this is hit softly to left and bounces in, and past the left fielder, as we just pointed out, his
Didn't we just
lack
talk
of
about his error?
errors. So now he's going to make us look foolish as he immediately commits an error.
What are we doing?
Got right past him, so got under the glove, in between the legs, rolls between them. He has to chase it down. Luckily, it didn't go any farther than it did. He just
All right,
makes
here
it
we
to
go.
second.
Got to the bullpen.
Oh boy, Ryan Helsley, he's coming in. He does not want to allow any runs.
So this is another signing that
Excuse me.
I thought would be a good signing in the offseason and has turned out to be disastrous.
Okay, so he's at a 6.91 ERA so far, and he
What? Can you go back to that for a second?
Yep.
So he's got a neutral, right? But if you look at his year last year with the White Sox, I mean, 88 innings, less a sub 3 ERA, and a 1.16 WHIP.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah,
the hell
that's
happened when he came to New York?
kind of a fall off.
Yeah.
Some might say he is 35, so he's up there in years, but rating wise, he looks fine. So let's see. Let's
See what
see
he can
how
do.
this goes. Henderson on second, one out. Morel up at the plate. He's had a good game so far in the outfield. And Helsley with his first batter. See, his velo's dropped a lot, down to 93.
Mm-hmm.
He hits it hard up the middle.
Oh,
Should be enough to get Henderson in. And he tries to throw him out at home, but does not. And the runner's able to make it to second. So here we go, trading places at second yet again. And that's a tie at ball game. 3 pitches. Helsley. Next up is Josh Bowman, who's having a good game. 2 hits, 1 homer so far today. He's a switch hitter. He's going to be batting lefty now. That's hit, popped up to the shortstop. And they take a deep breath as they watch him go back to the dugout. 1 pitch. And Morel on second. Now Norby, the DH, ready for the next pitch from Helsley. It's hit high to left.
Please catch that.
He is able to make that play. So the one error comes around to score there. That's usually how it's going to go in the major leagues.
Yep, it is. And that spot is normally occupied by Soto, so.
So you see that that hole there a little bit, but
Charlemagne.
there we go. Latrell Charlemagne batting ERA 2.24. Only 15 earned runs in 60.1 innings.
Look at his K to walk ratio. My God.
Yeah, he's looking nasty, so that's going to be good for 11.6 K per 9. And he's a 65 overall player with really good ratings. Only 2 pitches.
He's
Change-up cutter.
4 plus Ks to 1 walk.
So Charlemagne against Familia, he's going to try to make up for that error in left here, leading off this inning. As Charlemagne pitches to him. And he watches that one go by as it's strike 3.
I'm not sure Familia will have a Yankees uniform on next year.
So the Yankees GM learning a lot about his left fielder in this game. Lucas Franco, the third baseman, however, tries to get another hit as he has a hit and an RBI in this game. And Charlemagne will pitch to him next. He makes contact and through the right side of the infield.
There he goes.
So he's having a
Franco?
good game. Second hit. As Charlemagne's not easy to make contact with, as we see his strikeouts, but he's able to and drive it through the right side of the infield.
Yeah, that's a good piece of hitting.
Spencer Torkelson looking for his first hit in front of the Yankees GM here. Charlemagne up next. He has 5 pitches so far. And that's a walk.
Oh,
So we have something going here for the Yankees.
we got a
Man on
little
first and second.
bit of business here.
Those pitches were all outside the strike zone. So 4 straight balls. Everson Pereira, the right fielder, tries to get the lead back here for the Yankees. Franco at second. And Pereira against Latrell. And that ball gets away. The runners are able to advance. So some
Oh
control
boy,
issues here for Charlemagne. That's
I,
6 balls in a row now.
I know it's April Fools, but this seems to be backwards of what we've been thinking
Yeah.
when they come in.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's not allowing a lot of runs, but look, he's, we'll see. 1 out, so all they need is a sac fly to take the lead back with Pereira at the plate. That's 2 balls, no strikes in this at bat.
Strike
And he
3.
comes back to strike him out.
Jeez.
So that one hurts as they have 2 men in scoring position now with 2 outs. So Bregman up at the plate. He's a veteran. He knows how to get it done. Let's see if he'll do it here. I'm gonna predict he drives it through the right side of the infield.
I hope you're right.
He hits it to even better the left center. That's gonna get up against
Hell
the
yeah,
wall.
Bregman
Goes
score
all the way
2.
against the wall. He gets to second standing up. Drives in 2. That was his 20th RBI of the year.
Yeah, that was a bomb. That was a rope.
Really nicely hit, and 6 pitches, and he earned his pitch in that at bat and drove it to the wall. Koziel up next. He's a 282 average with no hits on the day. He wants to drive Bregman in here. Charlemagne has 2 outs. Let's see how he performs.
Come on, Cozio.
And he drives that one to center, and that one might send the
Bregman's-
runner around third. Yes, they send him. He's going to make it in time, so that's 3 runs now this inning.
Okay. Cozio was my click to pick, I think.
And if he wasn't, he is now. So he's standing on first. And that was a couple good at-bats this inning here from the Yankees.
Charlemagne is out. It's now Dylan.
Chris Dillon, 5.18 ERA. So they have to make a change and pull out Charlemagne. And Sergio Rosario, leadoff hitter for the Yankees. Back to the top of the order now. So Chris Dillon's going to face his first batter. It's popped up. The right fielder has to run in for it, and that's going to be the 3rd out. But they make it happen, get 3 runs, up to 6 hits now, and the 1 error.
Yeah. All right. That's a good inning for us.
Very good. Looks like Helsley's going to stay out there and try to eliminate any damage. As Rutschman is back up now, and he looks for his first hit of the day, going into the bottom of the 7th. And the pitch from Helsley is softly hit. Center fielder's going to have to range in. He makes the play. Dominguez.
Oh, different little angle there.
Yeah. And Watson, Khalil Watson now. 2 at-bats, no hits. Helsley up next to Watson. Is hit to right field, but the right fielder's there for it. That was a good, solidly hit ball, but right to the right fielder.
Yep.
Cruising right along now. Helsley up to, I think, 16 pitches. And now Dominic Fletcher, who has not had a hit yet today. Let's see if he can change that with 2 outs. And he hits it hard in the gap and left.
Dang.
That's going to bounce off the wall, and he's going to throw it sharply back into second, as he thought he had a chance to throw him out, but he makes it to second in time.
That was a good hit for Dominic.
Good hit and good throw back in. So he's standing at second now. We have Jackson Holliday, who does have a hit. He's batting .304. Let's see if he can drive Fletcher in and get another run back, or get a run back. He hits it softly to second. He makes the play and throws it to first for the 3rd out.
Boy, I thought you overthrew that.
5-2, even at 6 hits. apiece for these two ball clubs. Jason Dominguez, he wants to get another hit. He's now facing Chris Dillon, the lefty, so he's lefty-righty matchup.
Got too many guys at the Mendoza line around here.
Let's see how Dominguez does now. He struck out his last at bat. He hits it on the ground, but right to the third baseman. He scoops it up, throws it out, throws him out.
Gunner.
Gunner, he's world class over at third.
Yeah, the Orioles have got a great defensive team as well. Force has done a good job.
Yep, they're always competitive.
Damn
Augustin
commissioners.
Ramirez. Chris Dillon. He's still out there facing Ramirez. He walks him, so a man reaches with one out. See what they can do here. Familia. He really needs to make something happen here. He needs to get a hit. Or he does have a hit. He does have a hit.
Oh yeah, he does. Yep.
And an RBI.
And he's got an RBI.
So he's looking to continue that with Ramirez on first. Let's see how he does. Strikes him out with the curveball, 74. Good at bat though, 7 pitches, so he fouled some off. He's trying. Franco, who has 2 hits now and an RBI. So let's see if he can get his third hit against Chris Dillon, who's at 18 pitches and 2 outs in this inning. He hits it sharply, but on the ground to the second baseman, who's able to get there and throw him out in time for the third out. 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
All right, we got 6 outs left to get.
Jorge Guerrero, we talked about him.
Yep.
He came over in a trade. Isn't that correct? No, he's a free agent signing.
No, he's a free international free agent signing, but he was my closer, and I had to move him out of that spot because he just wasn't doing well.
Gotcha, okay.
So he's now my setup guy.
Nice. And here he is, indeed, in the setup role. But is that a 4.06 ERA? Against
Yes, it is.
Tim Johnston, who has not done much damage yet, and let's see if we can keep it that way for the Yankees. The pitch from Guerrero. He strikes the first batter out. So he's doing his job right now in the 8th inning as he tries to keep this game at a 3-run difference. Gunnar Henderson, 298 now, 1 hit on the day.
This guy scares me.
Striking fear into the Yankees GM's heart here as Guerrero shows no fear as he gets that first out with 3 pitches. And the next pitch from him is hit hard, but the first baseman makes a great play, and the pitcher's not able to cover in time. But But Bregman made a nice stop there, which would have been at least 2 bases.
What are we doing?
Guerrero needs to do a little practice there, running to first, covering the bag. But Henderson does have some speed, and he has really nice speed actually, and just able to outrun it.
Well, that ball was hard hit. I don't know what we were doing, but
hey, Bregman made a great play. And we have Braylon Morrell up next. 1 hit on the day so far. And Guerrero to Morrell. He strikes him out, so the 2 outs have come via strikeout.
Let's go.
So and that was 3 pitches to get him out as well.
Yeah, all fastballs.
There we go. And 96 miles an hour, that last one.
We started this sim with a 4.23 ERA for Guerrero. So he's pitched a couple of times in this sim and now below 4 ERA.
Doing really well of late. Josh Bowman has a home run on the day and 2 hits. And see how he does against Guerrero. He's batting lefty. He strikes him out, so he strikes out the side.
Struck out the side.
He allows the run, or the hit, or the error. I don't know how it was ruled. It wasn't an error, so it would have been a hit.
Yeah, it was a hit.
But just the 1 hit that inning. And he three fastballs again for the strikeout.
Yep.
Juan Pena, this is one of the rookies pointed out by the Orioles GM before the game, and Spencer Torkelson at Sporkelson at the plate, 274 average now and 12 homers.
You can see his July though. His July he has not done well. He's got a 167 average over 12 at bats.
So he's looking to change that here. He's the only player left in the lineup still cold. So let's see if he can heat up a little bit off Pena. He hits it hard, but right to the third. Oh, he throws it.
Oh no!
The first baseman's not able to get it. That's an error on Henderson,
Wow.
who throws it off target. So that works out for Torkelson as he's able to make it on base. That's a
Wow.
rare sight to see from Henderson, but
That is a very rare.
it's going to happen even to the best of them. And Everson Pereira, let's see if he can get his first hit against Pena. He hits it hard,
Double play.
and a double play as the Orioles have turned a number of double plays this game.
So Jackson helped out his buddy Gunner for his error.
He does indeed, as they hold down the left side of the infield there together.
Negates the error.
Bregman, he's having a decent game. 2 RBIs, 1 hit, and he's made some good plays at first.
Yes, he
Let's
has.
let's see how he does in this potential final at bat for him. He hits it softly to the shortstop. So the error does not come up back around to score. And we go to the
Doesn't hurt
bottom of
him.
the ninth. Is this your closer,
All right.
Ian Hamilton?
This is my closer.
All right, so we're getting to see the 1-2 punch here at the end of the game for the Yankees. Ian
Nothing like having a
Hamilton.
35-year-old closer.
He's getting the job done, it looks like so far. 32.1 innings. And he's going to face Connor Norby first this game. And
Yep.
Hamilton to Norby. It's softly hit to the left side, shortstop, able to pick it up and throw out the batter.
12. He's converted 12 out of 16 save opportunities. So
All right, so pretty good percentage. Adley Rutschman, he does not have a hit on the day. Ian Hamilton trying to keep it that way. Only 4 pitches to get the first batter out. And Rutschman hits it high, but
oh
to
boy.
right field. So he's going to
Okay.
go hitless as long as the game continues on this current path.
All right, boys, come on, one more out.
And that's Khalil Watson. He is hitless on the day as well. And Hamilton to Watson is softly hit. It bounces a little bit. And he runs it out.
Jeez.
Anytime the ball bounces in the infield with the animation, he's safe, most likely.
What?
So the pitcher fumbles that one. He's not able to throw that batter out. But he's pitching
And
well.
yep, this is Fletcher who roped one to left center, opposite field last at bat.
Yep, he had a double in the 7th. Hamilton, any extra base hits most likely going to score Watson. So Hamilton's going to try and eliminate that here. To Fletcher. He strikes him out in
Got
the
him.
game.
What a game.
This one goes 5-2 Yankees. So they do not get their 4th loss straight as they're able to get back in the winning column. And let's see who the point out players are here at the end. Jesus Luzardo, he did just enough to pull out the victory. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Plus, they faced a tough opponent in Jesus Luzardo, but they were able to pull out the victory. Luzardo did go 6 innings and allowed 2 runs in
Yeah,
his debut this year.
he had a good return.
So that can be something to be happy about for the Orioles GM. And Alex Bregman, he came through with his first. He had a 2-run double in the top of the 7th to put the Yankees ahead, and that's how the game ended basically. So the pitchers, all the pitchers both had good games. So good game across
Yeah,
the board.
Charlemagne. If you look at this, I mean, he had the lowest ERA coming in,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
he was the one we got to. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Nice. Yep. Charlemagne took the L on that one, so that brings his record to 5-2 now. You had Ryan Helsley got the win for you. Why does that say blown save?
Why does that say blown save?
That's weird. 'Cause he didn't allow any runs, or he only allowed 2 hits. To check on that after the
That's
game.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that would be.
Uh, and then Guerrero had the hold, and Hamilton with the save, so that pans out perfectly.
Yep, and Hamilton converted now 13 of 17 saves. So pretty happy about that.
Yeah, your
That
bullpen
little switch.
bullpen had a really good game for you. They locked it down. All right, so that's gonna wrap this one up for this week's game. We'll probably be on Sunday for the next one, so we'll be looking out for some good matchups. Let me know if you guys come across anything good. We've seen, I think, most of the top top teams. I feel like there might be still one or two I'm missing, but
Yep.
if anyone wants to get a game in before we start looking at some other teams we've seen already, we're getting into the later part of the season, so we're going to start looking at some playoff potential games and some matchups, some in division matchups, things like that. So uh,
Yeah.
throw your name
Yep.
in the hat
Well,
if you're interested.
I think as the season wears on, I think you might have some teams that go on a hot streak and would be fun to watch as well.
Yeah, I want to get Cleveland going. Probably try to get one of their games because they've been playing. They've been on fire. So uh, they're like 4 games up on the division now all of a sudden, and they were like 6 games back at one point. So
Yeah, there you go. Pittsburgh would be another good one.
yeah, we watched them. I think they were the first game of the week. So
Okay. Yep, that's right. Have you gotten Randall and the A's?
yep, they were last week. We had
Okay.
Oakland and Tampa Bay.
A
That
team
was a
that
good game.
a team that looks to be. And do you have the standings there? Because coming into the sim, Minnesota was 8-2, and they had won 6 straight. I know we're
The
4 or 5 games
standings. Let's
into
see.
the.
Yeah, at this
Yeah,
point, we still have a couple days left to sim.
there you go.
So
They're on a 10 game winning streak.
let's see. Oh, Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. We haven't had them on. Yep,
So
they're on fire.
that would be who I was, kind of referring to as being a hot team.
Okay, yeah.
Tampa Bay seems to be doing well.
Yep, we watched them against Oakland. They were on a 7 game losing streak, I think, or 6 or 7, and then they pulled out the win on Game of the Week, so they ended that losing streak.
Yep, yep.
But that's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna wrap this one up. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you hanging out the whole time talking about your team. That was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you doing this. Really, I mean, it's fun. I love how you have incorporated this into the league, and I hope it continues.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping to get some playoff series going and things like that. So that'll get
Nice,
just even better. And yeah, I appreciate Kamish for letting me do it for sure.
nice.
But that's gonna be it. And until next time, I'll see you later.
All right, take care.